Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, got a question for you all. What do you want to talk about? Because I'll tell you what we are here to talk about. Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993. And we're not here just live. We're not just here with a special guest I will introduce here in just a second. But we are... You wait, but I don't think your hand was even in the camera. But... we are here to celebrate! Yeah!
2,000 subscribers.
2,000 subscribers. The road to 2,000 subscribers is over.
Complete.
It's completed. And we are here to celebrate this milestone for sure for the channel. I can't thank all of you enough. My supporters, my fans, my inspirations that I will definitely make sure to mention throughout the stream to get some people, you know, their props for those who have inspired me, for those who have definitely been fans and long-term supporters of the channel for sure as well. As it's definitely been kind of an up and down road, especially when I kind of had to get the momentum back from around 5 years ago and whatnot. But also, before I get started, I should introduce my special guest right here. He is my young and smart nephew. He is trying to break away on YouTube as well. And he is actually, although not under this name, but technically my 2,000th subscriber. That's right. He is known on YouTube as DRK Midnight. He likes gaming. He just got into wrestling recently as well.
I do different horror games and stuff, but I'm willing to start doing wrestling, so...
Of course. And trying to learn from me as well, too. But yes, definitely I have the link to his channel down in the description box. Make sure you guys give him a subscribe as well, as he already has, like, how many subscribers do you have? You only been doing it for how long?
632.
632. And how long have you been doing YouTube for?
Maybe just over a year.
Hey, that's not a bad start at all. Again, it took me quite a bit to get there, since I was very back and forth at the beginning 12 years ago, because it's right around the time where I even made the channel. But of course, you don't know what the channel was like back then, because back then it was just me being a typical senior in high school, goofing off, doing stupid things. Then when I finally learned things with you know, how to screen record, even though I was telling him last night, which, okay, let me explain something first here as to how, although he's been subscribed to me for a bit, he is my 2,000th subscriber. Because last night when I was publishing some videos that I had uploaded, I had 3 subscribers left. And he goes, well, my friends and I have a few channels that, you know, we use.
I have my DRK News and Podcast one. Subscribe. School one. I'm not going to expose that. Subscribe. And then some other one. I think it was just my friend's channel. Subscribe. So, yeah.
So, yeah, they're all reasonable channels. They weren't me cheating at all. But just like that, I had 2,000 subscribers.
For he is the Club of the Man.
1993, yes. And, of course, also, technically, at last I checked, I have 2,001 subscribers right now. But yes, he, of course, he's spending the weekend with us, and of course, he wanted to be in the video. So at first, we were going to do our SmackDown review together, but I thought, you know what? Since you're technically subscriber number 2,000 for me, why don't we have you on as my special guest? as for the 2,000 subscribers celebration. And we don't really have anybody in the live chat. We have Fidget1764 saying, come on, 3,000. He is definitely one of my loyal subscribers who watches a lot of my Wolfenstein Let's Plays as well. Which, again, has been nice, the fact that, again, from the beginning, the channel has just been just about, you know, me sharing things I love to do. Back then, it was just, well, goofy music videos.
Chat on here, so you have to keep clicking out.
No. I technically don't have to keep clicking. I could just go right here. If I wanted to.
Yeah,
he's still learning about live streaming as well too. That I'm showing him stuff.
Yeah,
but
I actually haven't even posted anything about wrestling yet, but I plan on doing that maybe today, tomorrow.
Very
Probably
possible.
today.
Yes. But yeah, the channel originally was just the the channel always has been about just things I like and trying to connect with other people to share similar interests.
That's what YouTube's about.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, some people I know stick to like just one topic, like most wrestling. Since most of my content anymore is wrestling, and video games is like second. Normally I feel like, you know, a lot of YouTubers just stick to just one thing, but especially me who just does it as a hobby, does it for fun, doesn't have to, you know, stick to like a structure. It's just be me.
Schedule.
Exactly, that too. Just be me. Because also, like, I don't do it for a hobby because I already have a life outside of YouTube. I already have, you know, family, nephews right here, my wife who's asleep right now, and you know, many other things. And plus, too, again, the whole idea of this channel is just to have fun. So I didn't want it to make where I could monetize it or anything else on it. So that's why I've always just, you know, just try to evolve and also use it to, you know, enhance more of my video editing skills as well. As you can see here, the little graphic we have here in the background is something that I'm using to kind of work on with some new graphics and intros and other things for other videos on the channel, just such as, again, like mostly for like, you know, the streams for like my Raw and SmackDown reviews or my pay-per-view reviews, or even like you want to do my baseball videos and whatnot. There's, again, a lot to definitely cover. But yeah, this is kind of, I want to give you guys a little bit like a preview because there's still a work in progress. But this is kind of like a preview of what I'm looking for. To add a little more motion, a little more sound effects. There's that, like the sci-fi opening at the beginning. But it's all mixed in there very well. But yes, it's been quite a journey because as we also know, well, again, how the channel evolved again. Again, originally it was just me doing a bunch of goofy dance videos. Which I'm sorry, but they're all gone. Because the earliest video on this channel, as I always say, is a video from when I went to a pirate game years ago in 2013 or 2012? I'll say 2013. Where, yeah, I think it was 2013, where Chipper Jones actually appeared at PNC Park in one of his last games in his career, and we all gave him a standing ovation. Then after that, well, I have done many, many Wolfenstein Let's Plays. And the first 3 I did were my custom maps that I made years ago. Well, that was before I knew about screen recording. Because before, it was just, I would sit down at a desk, take a stack of like shoebox and other like stuff, put a little camera on top of it, press record, and struggle to stay behind it and play my video games. Well, of course, as I evolved with technology as well, I got, of course, found screen recording using Fraps, Bandicam. Yes, definitely. A few others that I used as well. Of course, I got to find some way to afford to be able to do it with the Switch, because I definitely would like to try to get some videos of some of my Switch games on here as well, eventually.
And even with me, I want to try to do that soon. Maybe with like the Switch.
Right, like I'm sure those who watch my Wolfenstein Let's Plays, a lot of people have encouraged me to play Doom. I have 5 of the Doom games on the Switch. I've only played through 1 on easy, and the second one I've never finished. But I wouldn't mind doing Doom Let's Play someday for sure. But I gotta do them from the Switch. I can't do them from my computer because I don't have them on the computer. Of course, I'm sure I probably could, but you know.
On your Mac?
No, probably not. Probably on my Lenovo because they're not compatible, I believe, for Macs.
Oh yeah.
But yes, and then it was those, and of course I did record once I discovered that for my 3rd custom map set, which was Ultimate Challenge. Then I literally deleted the other ones and re-recorded all of them again with with Fraps. That's when I had a lot more time on my hands as well. Because some video game Let's Plays for me now do take quite a few months because of how busy I am. And I try to do a bunch of other things on top of it. But then, of course, when I got into wrestling, I would try to play around with like stuff to make my custom match cards. Then eventually I started, my friend Daniel Geiza, who we're still great friends in real life. We've been friends for probably like 12 years now, I think it is. But he doesn't really do YouTube anymore, but he was the person who started like, posting reviews. He started telling me about other YouTubers like DaClubOfDaMan, who is just Alex, Sol Monster. There's also like What Culture. We've also got Wrestlemania. Many others that we have here on YouTube. And we got Tyler joining us. Tyler, thank you very much for joining us again. Tyler is also a very loyal subscriber to mine as well, who usually is pretty much on almost most of my subscribers. And he does as well acknowledge that today is Happy 316 Day.
Austin 316.
Too bad I didn't think of putting the clip in from WrestleMania 38 for my live reactions for that, when my friend Joe, who we introduced on here as Penta El Miller, out of nowhere while we were live reacting to Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38, him out of the blue just giving me a stunner for the heck of it.
Which was a great match.
For sure, yes, that was very fun to see. 57-year-old Stone Cold putting it on against Kevin Owens, and again, that was, you don't notice, but Kevin Owens' contract was expiring at the beginning of that year.
Yeah,
and that probably talked him into staying. He
got a match with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Exactly, like
the big
that's
match.
Worth staying for.
Even if he lost the match, that's still a big match you can be in.
Oh yeah, especially the main eventing. I mean, it was night one, but he still technically main evented the show, which was incredible. But yeah, so like definitely people like, Dan, DaClubOfDaMan, who's now just Alex, Sol Monster, people again like What Culture or Wrestlemania, and a few others who just post like clip videos of like top 10s of this, which that's something I used to do as well. I used to do a lot of like, whenever I worked from home, when I didn't really have I wasn't consistently working, I would do like every Thursday night before I even had OBS, because I used to do it with Google Hangouts, and I basically there was no way for me to basically make like stuff like this. It was just the screen of me talking, and that's it. And they discontinued it in 2019, right before a bad moment for the channel happened, which we'll of course briefly talk about in a second.
All right.
But I used to do like these top 10 streams where I made like a list, and I would cover every Thursday night, do a special live stream, and they were sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the topics and whatnot too.
And they're fun to talk about and stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like I definitely, if I had the time, I would do them again. But you get the occasional ones here and there. But especially now that I have access to all of this, I definitely try to
it gets easier.
Well, it gets easier, but also making the graphics also can take a little bit of time as well too.
That's definitely hard.
So we'll get back to Tyler's comment here in a second. I see you left that comment there, but yeah. So that's why, of course, besides the fact that I wasn't really working full time at the time, I was able to do a lot more. But yeah, so I eventually did start doing I was doing wrestling videos at the beginning, but I wasn't doing like live reviews or anything like that right away, because I just felt like I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do like everything the same as like everybody else. But then eventually it was kind of like, well, I feel like what I was doing was not quite getting my voice completely out there.
Yeah.
So I believe it was like 2017, I think it was. I gave in, started playing around with live streaming. And eventually I felt ready for it. I'm like, you know what? Let's go live and talk about. I did Raw, SmackDown, NXT reviews until 2021. I've only maybe done like 1 or 2 NXT videos since. I stopped watching NXT in 2021. I used to review also 205 Live.
What's NXT on?
Wait, what?
What service is NXT on?
Well, it's on USA now, but it's going to be moving to the CW later this year. But it just wasn't the same as it used to be. And of course I just don't have time to watch all the shows. And again, we still do some AEW content on the channel, but not as much, because again, it's just not as. Yeah. I still love AEW, but it's just to me, it just feels like there's so much like hatred in that subject that I just
drama in it. It's hard to have fun talking about it.
Exactly, yeah. So that's why only like occasional things, like I did a review of AEW Revolution recently because it was Sting's last match.
Sting's retirement match. I think it was a tag team one.
Yep, him and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks.
Although we should talk about like the future of Darby Allin after Sting leaving and stuff.
Well, as far as I know, if you want to discuss that briefly, this is kind of just like a free for all stream as well here. Just talk about anything you want. So again, Fidget1764 and Tyler, leave stuff in the live chat. Again, if you have any Q&A questions, I will gladly answer those as well. Because I do see Tyler left a couple things saying, "Is it crazy that AJ Styles main event night 1 of WrestleMania 36 versus The Undertaker, and Kevin Owens main event night 1 of WrestleMania 38 versus Stone Cold Steve Austin?" Again, they both definitely did deserve those spots. That Boneyard match, I don't know if you ever watched the Boneyard match.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was a cool match.
It was for sure, and that was Taker's last match too.
Yeah, it wasn't like any and it was good considering he was like very limited in the ring at that point. It was
right.
Good to like have like a cinematic match they can like cut and he can take breaks and stuff. And it was an entertaining match to watch. It's like it's one of those rewatchable ones.
Rewatchable, and to me, it kind of like highlighted like all of his like personas throughout the years as well.
Yeah, there's the Dead Man. There's all the other ones.
American Badass, Ministry of Darkness.
That's probably my least favorite one. That's why I still like that one. So.
Right. But yeah, but of course that was probably one of the only good cinematic matches during the pandemic era because. Yeah, because to me, it was like Vince McMahon found a brand new toy to play with at the time, and then everything else just got really hokey. It was
I mean, like the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus John Cena, that one. I think it was like the Firefly Funhouse one. That one was good too.
I like that. I did like that one too, but stuff like the Wyatt swamp fight with him and Bray Wyatt, that was wonky. Of course, who can forget the zombie lumberjack match with
the
Miz and Damian Priest.
I remember, if you guys knew Santi Zapis, he brought that up and he said, if I ever had to explain that match to a new wrestling fan, I would never talk about wrestling to them again.
Well, you know the reason why they had the zombies in there, right?
I don't actually.
So what happened was Vince McMahon was being paid to do a sponsorship for this Netflix movie called Army of the Dead. And he used that match to fulfill that sponsorship. Because it was advertised as a lumberjack match. And then they brought out zombies as the lumberjacks. And it made no sense because Miz and Damian Priest would then be working together to fight off the zombies. And then they were, like, them and the announcers were acting like they were legitimate zombies.
I don't know. They could have definitely implemented it better, at least.
Could have, yeah, or at least not take the zombies like seriously,
or just not do it.
Right? Because even too, because after the match, they had like Miz and John Morrison lay down in the ring. The zombies ate him up like he was lunch. But then next week they returned back to normal. But it's like, shouldn't they
maybe at least left a couple months?
Some way to kind of like sell it off because. Again, that's all we ever asked for. We just want things to make sense. And again, I think there was like a lot of things like that, or like even the stuff with like Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt did at the time. That's stuff that they wouldn't have been able to get away with if it was actual live TV and not like a bunch of pre-recorded stuff. Like I get what they were trying to go with, but it didn't work. Like there's some things that pro wrestling doesn't work with, like boxing matches.
Yeah, pro wrestling, you're supposed to be suplexing people off top ropes, putting people through tables, and that's not what you do in boxing. They're both like combat sports, but they're not. They're different.
Right. It's like because DRK Midnight is one of my nephews who actually joined me for SummerSlam last fall, and they had the MMA rules match with Ronda Rousey and and the reason why because they were trying to make an MMA fake fight. But yet, it doesn't work. Which, by the way, Tyler here in the live chat is a huge Ronda Rousey fan. You know what he calls her?
What?
Horseface. He despises Ronda Rousey, so he calls her Horseface.
Oh, so you're being sarcastic.
Yes, I'm being sarcastic. I was jagging about that because he always likes to rant about Ronda. But Ronda, of course, is gone. She made an appearance in Ring of Honor recently, but I haven't heard anything about her since. But who knows? But he also said... Oh God, that zombie lumberjack match was a dumpster fire match.
Absolutely.
It for sure was. But yeah, a bunch of, very goofy things. But But yeah, getting back to talking about the history of the channel as well. So like I said, 2017 was where I started doing more live reviews, and again, more match cards, and still separate like topic videos. And then things I think did change for the channel though. We're about to change though in 2019, because that's when I finally started working full time at the job I've been working at for almost 5 years now. But then something happened. I gotta watch how I say this because I don't want to, get in trouble again. You know the story of what happened. But my channel got taken away for 7 months in 2019. It was because one of my Wolfenstein videos, I made a comment in it saying, what I meant to say was that I enjoy coming of age, like games like Wolfenstein games are, where you overcome battle and whatnot. What I meant to say was that I enjoy maps that are more fast-paced and not slow and stealthy. What I said, I can understand why somebody kind of got offended by the way I worded what I said, but my original appeal was that why is this being, penalized when many other people have played, these video games before? And because of that comment, my channel got taken down for 7 months.
What? How were you able to get it back up?
Well, first, while I was gone for those 7 months, I did discover you could do live streaming on like Twitter and like Instagram and a few others. So I already had my Twitter. So yeah, I had to use this app called Periscope, which is also around the time when I started playing around with OBS as well.
Yeah.
And I would live stream on Twitter. And then I think it was like beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic and everything else happened, I submitted another appeal to try again because I was basically like desperate at the time, thinking it was never gonna come back. And I basically just said the appeal, hey guys, my content never means to be offensive or anything. It's just like video games. It's just like, coming of age, overcoming the battles, or showing like the secrets, like that's why most of them were 100% let's plays and whatnot. I said, but if anything I did say offended anybody, I'm sorry. And I went to sleep that night. 4 hours later, I woke up.
It was back up.
My channel was back up.
They're like, okay, yeah, we went a little far there.
I guess, but of course it did take a little time for me, which as soon as the channel was back up, like I had people like Tyler or TN Couponer, Mark Johnson, Lauren Hutton, Robbie One Kenobi, Gene, who used to do YouTube also from the Botch Squad podcast, Nerd Coalition, several others who have definitely been loyal subscribers to the channel as well, were right back there. It's like they were sitting right there waiting for me. As soon I went live when the first day back, just to say I'm back and address what's coming and explain to everybody who didn't know about the channel what happened. They were all right there, and it was awesome to be back because I was close to just
quit.
Still streaming, but yes, kind of just starting over, and I didn't want to do that because you
got so far.
I got so far, and like all the other games I'd already played and everything and whatnot. It's just like I just didn't want to start over again. I just wanted to,
And there's a lot of memories on a channel that
Oh yeah, you look back at it. It's like it's my work, and like I didn't want to lose it. But
like I remember on my first video, I didn't have a thumbnail and there was no microphone. It was just gameplay.
Well, the other thing too is back in the day also, I wasn't able to do videos longer than 15 minutes.
Oh, they capped that when it's not.
Right, but I think eventually they allowed you to make like longer videos, which is of course why some of my Wolfenstein levels, some of them I had to like make sure I completed within a time frame, or else I would have had to separate them out into two, which would not have been cool for a consistent flow.
Yeah.
But when I did come back in 2020, again, that's right before my channel went down. That's when they discontinued Google Hangouts. And then, of course, while I was gone, I was introduced to OBS, which is where I started making some like other, simpler graphics. But yeah, now that I've taken advantage of the of a Black Friday sale, I do have Adobe Photoshop and Adobe After Effects, which allows me to have some like presets like this, or like make some other like custom thumbnails like a little different, rather than just, you know, the plain text and just one photo from that episode of Raw. I can, you know, like use blending modes and other techniques that I know of, or reteaching stuff I haven't used for a while, to get back on track with all that. And yeah, like I definitely was hoping, like when I first came back, 2000 was still my goal to get to. That was like the next goal I had.
You finally made it.
I did, yeah. I mean, I wanted to get it last year, but you know, around the holidays, things do get really busy and hectic. So I definitely can't keep up as well. And even if I would, my content isn't quite as good, because there was a time also in 2021 where WWE was like really like downhill, I thought.
Oh yeah.
And I just, to me, I felt like I was just coming up here and just like, this show, nothing happened. That was it. And that's when I took a break. I took a year break from reviewing Raw and SmackDown. I still reviewed some pay-per-views. I only did preview predictions for like the big ones like Rumble or Wrestlemania. And I was, at the time, just mainly doing AEW reviews. And then I also was wanting to start doing sitcom reviews, which so far the only sitcom I've actually reviewed is Seinfeld. But I definitely would like to at some point review some more, because outside of like wrestling and sports, and again I talk about like, you know, baseball, which also I used to do my custom baseball players that I've been wanting to get back to for a long time as well. But maybe after I get through my roller coaster tycoon let's play, maybe I can start getting back into those as well. But then of course when Vince McMahon left the first time, that's when I came back and started doing Raw and SmackDown reviews again. And then, you know, like I said, eventually I just thought AEW was just starting to become... I mean, I still watch AEW, but I still... Well, just Dynamite. I don't watch Collision. I don't watch Rampage. I don't have time to watch all those shows.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling shows. Right.
Well, if CM Punk was around, I would still occasionally watch Collision. But ever since Punk left AEW, I've had no reason to watch Collision. And also, it's on a Saturday night. Like, who's going to take time to watch a brief 2-hour show on a Saturday night? I'm sure most people who do watch Collision DVR it.
Yeah,
but
that's what we do.
But to me, it's like before the brand split returned, I only watched Raw. Very rarely did I ever watch SmackDown, because to me, it felt like, since all the stars were on both shows, it felt like a recap. And actually, believe it or not, in 2022, I was for the idea of WWE dropping the brand split at the time, before Vince McMahon left, because I felt like, you know, there wasn't as much depth needed for a lot more opportunities. And I felt like there was no need to have two separate shows, gazillion titles.
Yeah.
Which, you know, there's some, like the tag team division does not need to have two titles. I'm okay with...
But just the one, like the undisputed one?
Just the one, yes. Like, even, like, I'm still a big fan of the women's tag titles either. But...
No, although the Kabuki Warriors are a good champion.
They are, yes. They are trying to make something out of that women's division.
Yeah.
That's just going to take a lot more time, though. But like I said, it's just... Some of you just don't have a lot of the bodies. Like, sometimes, like, there'd be just, like, 4 people in one division, basically, and that's all you get for, like, a year. It's like, we got to see something new. But, stuff I was proclaiming there. One other thing I do miss, and of course, what I do like about having DRK Midnight here with me as well today, is the fact that up until maybe 2019 also, I used to do some collaborations with a few people here on YouTube. Well, they all still watch my videos, most of them, but most of them don't do YouTube content. Like, again, our 4 horsemen, as we used to call ourselves. Daniel Gaiza, myself, Gene from the Botch Squad podcast, and Robbie One Kenobi as well. Who, of course, Robbie still likes to leave his little messages We used to always get hashtag please sign Robbie trending because he always wanted to write for WWE, which he would definitely be a great writer for sure with under Triple H's regime right now and whatnot. But I've still had all those guys, whether it's lives or whatnot, they've all still showed the support over the years for sure. Especially Robbie, of course, as well, who always pops in and he'll send me his Instagram voice messages to play, coming up with all of these clever things to make all of us laugh. But yeah. And then, of course, like I said, around the holidays before, it's like, I feel like that's why the channel slowed down a little bit on momentum. But to get to 2,000 this time, it was definitely a goal by WrestleMania. And hey, we're still about 3 weeks till WrestleMania. And we got it last night. Thanks to this guy right here. But that is kind of more so like the history of the channel and just how we got here. Like I said, I've just been me the entire time. Continue to do more, video game Let's Plays. Continue to do more live streams. Hoping for some other, big things to share and other things to mix in there. But yeah, I mean that's basically it. I would say the next goal I have 2,500.
Yeah.
To me, it's like
a
quarterly thing now. Like I will still acknowledge like 3,000, 4,000, but after I get to 2,500, my next goal would probably I want to set myself high and go for 5,000.
Yeah, like my goal has been 1,000 for like a long time at this point. I just set it high,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's why I want to start doing wrestling content because it's good to do different things, see which one works best.
For sure, yes. Yeah, definitely. Like get your voice out there. Get yourself heard with your opinions as well, and just have like a character, but like have like a little bit of like a gimmick to yourself.
Yeah.
Like make yourself like people remember you as finding you presentable or whatnot. Have like your own little catchphrases. Like if you ever do get good editing softwares, add in the effects as well. Tyler made a couple other comments here saying WWE in 2019 was awful. Raw and SmackDown were painful to watch.
I feel like the babyface Roman Reigns era in general was kind of awful.
Yes, because they were constantly just hoping, well, maybe we'll do it this way to work. Maybe we'll do it that way to work.
I thought they were going to pull the John Cena when we
Yep.
fan. Of course, I wasn't around back then, obviously, but
right.
Like as a WWE fan, but like you can look back and you can see how much they did not like John Cena when he was first
Nope.
there.
But then finally in 2020, though, when Roman Reigns decided to step away from wrestling, right the week or so before WrestleMania 36, he was supposed to face Goldberg for a Universal title for the sake of his own health. Because remember, he was gone and he has a weaker immune system. He has his history with leukemia and whatnot. So he stepped away and came back at SummerSlam, a whole new persona, and they put him with Paul Heyman. I knew that was going to be money the moment that happened. Whenever he came back,
Paul Heyman basically saved all of them. Like Brock Lesnar. Well, Brock Lesnar didn't need saving, but
yeah, Brock eventually was able to go on his own with the microphone. I mean, even so before too, when Brock Lesnar did have Paul Heyman, the few times Brock did talk, like it felt like a big deal.
Kind of like Solo.
Pretty much, yes. But and I like how with because before. They had like a couple other random guys like Curtis Axel, Ryback, and a few other random people be Paul Heyman guys. And they were kind of trying to pull the same shtick. But with Roman, it's like, okay, he's there, but he doesn't feel like he is there to be superior to Roman. He's there to be like a part of Roman's dynasty. The wise man, the special counsel to the tribal chief. Not the advocate for the tribal chief, the special counsel. So it feels like Roman is still more powerful over him.
Yeah.
But as I've always compared Roman, the bloodline, to like Harry Potter. Like Roman Reigns is Voldemort, and everyone else was like his Horcruxes. And I keep saying because the only reason why, because last year for WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes took care of Jay. He took care of Jimmy. He even gave Solo Sikoa his first loss on Raw before WrestleMania. And then he even got Solo ejected during the match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I remember watching that one back.
And who was the only reason why Cody Rhodes lost last year?
I think it was Solo, right? Or Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. He distracted the referee. and when Solo got to come back out, hit the Samoan spike.
Yeah, I remember he was like right in, like it's on the side of the ring or
So
something.
Paul Heyman,
And it was over.
So Paul Heyman is the reason why. He's the last piece that they have to remove from the equation. And as I've said, Paul Heyman is Roman Reigns' Nagini. He is like he was. Nagini was Voldemort's last Horcrux they had to destroy. Why wouldn't you look at it like that? In my opinion, but that's of course my opinion.
I think Braun Breaker is going to be the next Paul Heyman guy after this.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that as well. I definitely would love that.
I mean, you can see them already setting it up now.
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, we also see remember this of old time. Vince needs to retire. Took it to attempts. He tried to come back, worked for a little bit, but then unfortunately he got taken down for good this time. He basically came back with the excuse of needing to sell the company, and then he basically sacrificed all this power trying to get more power. And then, of course, he gets accusations against him. And then it just backfired. To me, he set up his own end, in my opinion. But thank God, again, he is gone. Oh, good God. 2019 was... Oh, yes. The wild card rule. You ever hear of the wild card rule?
I actually have it. In
2019, after they did another superstar shakeup, but then after that, they were still having everybody appear on both shows. And that's when Roman first got moved over to SmackDown. Well, they had a segment on Raw like a week or so later when Roman came back to Raw saying he's got unfinished business. And then Vince McMahon shows up saying, you can't be here. But then Daniel Bryan shows up, who is also on SmackDown. Kofi Kingston shows up. All these SmackDown superstars show up. And then Vince is the remaining, you know what? I got an idea. Why don't we make up the wild card role, where 3 stars from the opposing brand can appear on a show in one night? I'm a genius! I'm a genius! I'm a genius!
Nope.
To me, it looked like, I'm desperate to get heat! I'm desperate to get heat! I'm desperate, and this is the best I can come up with.
He sounded like Vince McMahon when he
Exactly.
did that.
I brutally hated that segment. And that's, again, a reason why they suffered, because the brand split was pointless. There was no point in having 2 world titles, no point in having 2 tag champions, no point in having 2 women's titles. Like, it was stupid. Like, you came there to restore order, but then you basically let it get out of control. So you made yourself look like an even bigger dumbass, basically. But yeah, that wild card rule, oh god, I despise that. And then, of course, it wasn't just 3 people. I was like, oh, there's 4 stars showing up. And then everyone's showing up.
Everybody just switched brands, basically. Like,
right.
Raw was SmackDown, and SmackDown was Raw, basically.
Right, so I was just like, just kill the brand split, because there's no point to it anymore.
Might as well just be WWE Monday, WWE Friday at this point.
Basically, yes. Or Raw Super Show, they called it in 2012.
And then...
But anyways, we have Dakota Takeover saying it's been forever. All I gotta say is Cody is winning at Mania. No way he loses, because he can never challenge for the belt again. I agree.
Yeah, he will be buried as a mid-carder if he loses again.
Right. Last year, I can understand why. I think if Cody didn't get the torn pec, I think he would have done it last year. But since he had only wrestled, 4 matches since coming back to WWE, it kind of looked like they were just handing it to him. It wasn't his time yet. They've had a wonky road. I feel like they've done a lot of stalling, because honestly, I was okay with them not doing that Mania last year. I still think they should have had him do it at SummerSlam. If I'm being honest. Because between SummerSlam and Rumble, it felt like a stalling period.
I mean, we basically know it's happening at WrestleMania. It has to happen.
It has to happen this time, yes. Because if it doesn't happen, then what's been the point of all this? Because, I don't see who else can possibly be the one, though, to dethrone Cody.
Exactly, The Rock doesn't need it, I don't know how I feel about The Rock doing it. I mean, it wouldn't even get good reactions from the crowd because, all you're going to hear is we want Cody as The Rock trying to celebrate.
Right. Well, plus also, The Rock versus Cody,
The Rock versus Roman Reigns?
The Rock versus Roman Reigns does not have to have the title involved either.
Yeah. Because
that's going to make it a lot more unpredictable as well. I mean, I still think Roman is going to win that match. But, it's
When Rock versus Roman?
Yes. I still think it's going to be Roman in the match, but with no title on the line, because what's Rock going to do? Win a title at WrestleMania just to relinquish it next night and just... Or be part-timer?
He's been showing up like every SmackDown.
He has, yeah, but...
Although he's not going to show up like to defend the title often enough. Like, we're going to get rid of one part-time champion just to get another one.
Right, because right now on SmackDown we got 2 part-time champions. Roman Reigns and Logan Paul.
We got to think of a nickname for him.
I don't want to think of names for him. He also says, I think McIntyre beats Seth, then Priest cashes in. Also, Rock and Roman win night 1 because Drew attacks Seth, then Rock turns on Roman night 2. Which could happen. Well, I am still... If it was months ago, I would still think Damian Priest was going to get his cash and costed by the Judgment Day himself.
Like Finn Balor, maybe?
Right, because they were teasing a breakup with them for a bit. I remember, like, back in, like, last year, maybe around WrestleMania or early fall or whatnot, because the Judgment Day, I don't know about this, because I heard about this in the Talk is Jericho podcast with Edge, or Adam Copeland, as he is now in AEW, address this, but the Judgment Day storyline kind of got sped up. Finn Balor was supposed to join Judgment Day, but not for another year. But then when they started with Edge, he just felt like he was very out of place with the group, with the direction that they wanted to take it. Yeah, because Edge started Judgment Day.
Yeah, Edge isn't a heel character in my opinion. I don't think Edge is a proper heel.
I mean, when he was the ultimate opportunist back in like the mid, during the Ruthless Aggression era,
yeah, maybe that kind of heel.
That yes, but like they were basically trying to make him like another Undertaker.
Basically,
and that's not quite him.
There won't be another Undertaker.
Right, exactly. But and he just said he felt that the direction they were going with the group is not something he felt like he was involved with. So basically, Balor was supposed to join them a year later, but they basically had him join like a year sooner. Yeah. So they've kind of had to stall a little bit with the story of them as well. But I thought Damian Priest was going to get his Money in the Bank cash and costed by Judgment Day. But right now, there seems to be no end in sight to Judgment Day. There's not really any cracks forming right now with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, WrestleMania, this might be, like, the greatest WrestleMania. Like, this is probably one of the more unpredictable ones, at least.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to make, like, a match card prediction video maybe on my channel later today. But
nice.
It's going to be kind of hard.
Nice. But, do you think also there could be a chance that Cody Rhodes could win at WrestleMania, but Priest could cash it on him?
Yeah.
I mean, the American Nightmare finishes his story just for another nightmare to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe, you never know. But I still think that tag matchup is a little more unpredictable, though, if I'm being honest. I'm a little more excited about that tag match because so much could happen. We could have like tension because we also feel, it feels like at times there is a little tension teased with Rock and Roman, like whenever Roman asked him to acknowledge him as his tribal chief.
Or like remember like on SmackDown when Roman wanted to leave before The Rock came out and Roman didn't. I don't know. There's definitely something.
Correct. Yeah, he didn't feel like he was getting his money squeezed. Like I don't need to be here, whatnot. But
somebody's turning on somebody. I have a feeling.
Right.
Just that gut.
Do you think there's also a chance maybe Seth Rollins could turn on Cody Rhodes? Because there's still history between them. Cody beat Seth 3 times when he came back. Seth has not beaten Cody yet.
Now that you got me to think about that, I think there's a high possibility.
There's a lot of possibilities in that tag match. Because trust me, I would love to see Bloodline rules.
But then if Seth turns on Cody, then who's going to defend Cody? Everybody's going to be against poor Cody.
Exactly. Who is going to be the one for him to overcome the story?
So just comes out.
I mean, they could have that as well happen.
Also, he left a comment saying, "I think Gunther wins at Mania and drops the title to Gable at SummerSlam."
Well, here's the thing. Also, with Gunther, originally he was supposed to fight Brock at Mania, and the IC title was supposed to be on the line, but because Brock got involved with the stuff with Vince, they've had to pull those plans. They had to do that. Then CM Punk got hurt, so because I think the direction they were going to go with Sammy originally was him and Drew.
Yeah.
Because that was the storyline there.
Yeah, like if CM Punk didn't get hurt, he would have won that Chamber match, I think. And
Yeah,
Randy
he
should have
would've.
won that Chamber too.
Could have, yeah, but to me, I still
Drew
feel
gets
like
his flowers finally. Drew,
yes.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he got it at Mania 36, but just not in front of fans.
Yeah,
but I do think again, Drew has had one of the most justified heel turns. Like he's not like just some guy who's all talk, all coward. He actually has a purpose. Wait, what?
I said Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's scumbag. But he actually like has a lot of truth behind what he's saying, and that's what makes him a really good heel. Is that he's free, our truth as well. But yeah, that's what makes him also great as well in his role, which is why I still think he should be winning a world title. But I'm pretty sure Brock was not going to be dethroning Gunther. So I also still believe that
not under Triple H. Under Vince maybe, but not under Triple H.
Right. So either way, I do think the plan was never for Gunther to drop the title at Mania, which is why I do think that
Gunther will beat Sammy.
I think there's a good chance he's going to beat Sammy.
Also, like what that Dakota takes over guy. I want the exact same thing to happen, but me personally, it's just my opinion. I think Braun Breaker should take it
Off of Gunther.
Yeah.
The only thing is, Gunther's on SmackDown right now.
Gunther's on SmackDown.
Sorry, Braun Breaker's on SmackDown right now. But
could they still do it like on SummerSlam? Could they make an exception of that, or do they
that? Or if they do another draft after WrestleMania, which they sometimes do, they could possibly do it there when one of them switch over to the other brand.
Yeah, I feel like Braun Breaker, like he's already ready. Like I feel like Braun Breaker taking over Gunther, like that's gonna be what he needs.
Right, but because of that, we could of course see Chad Gable though eventually still get his moment, because Chad deserves it. He's long overdue. Dakota also said, I could see Cody and Seth win. Then Cody says, oh, Rock, by the way, stipulation is if any member from the bloodline or family member interferes in night 2 main event, Roman loses the title.
That's what I'm saying. Like, disqualification equals title change. That match would screw Roman
over. Because also the reason why you would want to see it would make sense too is because the idea is Cody wants to take everything away from Roman.
Not just the title.
Not just the title, but his whole family. If they do that, then he basically accomplishes that goal. Like, again, to go back to what I was saying before, like destroying the Horcruxes.
Yeah, also, what Dakota said, like, thank you. That's what me and you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Rhea should beat Becky, and Liv should take it from Rhea.
At SummerSlam, I think that Liv should do that there. We also got TN Couponer on here saying, congrats on 2K, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you as well as for also being a long-term loyal subscriber. Interesting question for ladder match at Mania tag titles. Could they be 2 tag teams winner to separate the titles? I
don't know.
It could be possible, but I just still don't think there's enough depth, though, on both rosters right now to split the tag titles. So, in my opinion.
I don't know yet.
I don't think it's... I mean, it's weird, definitely, knowing that there's 2 world champions, but 1 tag champion. But there is a lot more depth, though, with those divisions. So, it's possible, yes, but I still think it's not the best time still to be splitting the tag titles. If they're not going to split the tag titles anytime soon, though, can they please just give them 1 belt? I'm kind of tired of seeing them both carrying around 2 belts the whole time. You know,
yeah, just carry around like 1. Like, do what you do with Roman. Like, just change the design, make it look good. Don't do like what they did with like some of the other tag titles. Right.
Don't make them all look the same and just changing the color.
Like,
that drives me nuts.
Completely redesign it. I know Triple H has to go to. I feel like he would be good at that. So.
Oh yes. Dakota says also, Rhea beats Becky and loses the title. We already talked about that. The only match I care for at Mania is AJ Styles versus LA Knight and Seth versus Drew. He's a big AJ Styles fan, so I can definitely see why. Could you see Rock try to help Roman Night 2 only for Jay to come out and then attack? Then Seth tries to help and they get beat down by The Rock and Solo, only for Jimmy to come out help his twin brother.
Ooh, I mean...
You never know.
I wouldn't mind it.
Because honestly, either way, Jimmy has no future as a single star, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Like, the whole time he's been a heel. And again...
He hasn't won a single match.
He hasn't, and he feels like a chump. Like, I feel like a lot of people think that they only did that just to have some excuse to keep the bloodline story going on.
Yeah,
but it still doesn't make sense because Jimmy was the first of the two Usos to turn on Roman. So why would Roman just easily accept him back? And with how many times Jimmy screwed up, why would he still trust him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Like, I feel like Jimmy is just there, so, I don't know, Roman's future opponents can have someone to fight before, fighting Roman. Like, he's basically just the guy in front of Roman that...
Basically, yes. But, he says, good point about carrying one belt. Rhea and Liv don't need the belt. Becky needs to win at Mania. It's time to take the belt off Rhea and end this awful reign. I do disagree. Like I said, Rhea's reign did start off bad, I thought, this past year. Because last year, like, before Vince left for good, Rhea was barely defending the title. It's like nobody wanted to fight her except for Natalya. They kept having her and Natalya fight. And they had one good match on Raw. But it was around, I think, SummerSlam or whatnot, where they finally started giving her feuds, and that's when her reign did get better, I thought.
Yeah, but I don't think Becky should... I mean, we already talked about this, but I don't think Becky should do it. I think Becky should lose, and then...
Right, because, again, I love Becky, but it's like, she's already been that one to conquer someone in their title reign.
Yeah, like, she's already a Hall of Fame, like a valid
For
Hall
sure,
of Fame.
yeah. And I'm not saying never give her a title again, but it's just like, you built a new star in Rhea Ripley. You want to give someone new... like a moment. And again, like I said, I think Liv Morgan has something cooking right now.
Yeah.
She has history with Rhea.
Can you smell what Liv is cooking?
Oh my gosh. He's my nephew. I can do that to him. But I think if you give it time, like again, give a little more time to develop this character, I do think you could have her be the one eventually to dethrone Rhea.
She is the last person to beat Rhea.
That, and I also feel like the first women's title reign she had as a single star, they gave it to her at an awkward time because they had her cash in Money in the Bank. She was losing like a lot of matches, and you gave her the title. It's like, well, what's the point of giving someone like her the title when she's losing a lot of matches? And then whenever Triple H took over, I feel like that was something where you had to just drop the title and just start over with her. Because I feel like they were just backed into a corner with it. There was nothing they could really done to like fix that at the time. Imagine if Roman retains and then Rock beats Seth at SummerSlam for the other belt. What a nightmare.
Ha, no pun intended.
Nightmare. That
would
would be a Vince thing. Vince would do that. I don't think Triple H is doing that.
No.
My prediction is night 1, Rock and Roman defeat Seth and Cody, and night 2, Cody beats Roman, and then SummerSlam, Cody versus The Rock. I'm not opposed to it one-on-one.
Dang, based off of all these predictions, SummerSlam's gonna be cooking too.
Oh yes, and it's in Cleveland too. It's only 2 hours from us too.
So maybe I can go somehow.
Maybe we'll see if we can get good deals on tickets, maybe or something. But yeah, while we wait for any other viewers, do you got anything you would like to address or any questions you'd like to ask, good sir?
What are we looking at for the future of Braun Breaker? I don't know. I've been like
Braun Breaker. I do feel like Braun Breaker again is gonna be like the next big name.
He's gonna be like the next big thing.
The next big thing. I think he's gonna be like the next guy. Like I think he can succeed Cody Rhodes someday, in my opinion. Like he's got the talent. He's a powerhouse. He's fast. He's explosive.
Isn't he a heel right now? Heel or babyface? Where do you?
I don't know, because I know he turned heel last year, but it feels like they kind of have treated him more like a babyface a little bit since he got his.
I would consider him a babyface. Crowd loves him.
Babyface or maybe a tweener, which is kind of like you're kind of in between. I'd say maybe I'll say tweener right now so far, but he is still tag champs with Baron Corbin. They're the Wolf Dogs in NXT. But yeah, I do think he's got a bright future. I hear at Mania they are doing a Cody Balboa routine. Not sure what that means. Yeah. Imagine a pop if Trick Williams Whoop that trick.
Honestly.
Whoop that trick.
Oh, did you hear last? I don't know if it was last night on last SmackDown that The Rock was doing, his beautiful rock singing as always.
Yes, for sure. No, they did. It's a pure. You know what's funny? Because I stopped watching NXT, the first time I ever heard them say "whoop that trick" was in a segment involving Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. So I thought at first it was like a Charlotte Flair trend. And then I found out later it was Trick Williams in NXT. So I'm like, oh, it's his thing, not Charlotte's. But I guess it's just very popular. It just appears here and there. Imagine Jay versus Jimmy, how loud it'll be. Yeet versus No Yeet and Mania. Yes, I think so too. We could. It's like let's go see this. It sounds like yeet, no yeet, yeet. Although
I'm gonna be the one chanting yeet. So
right. So I do think though. I still think though they haven't really built Jimmy Uso up that seriously. I don't think No Yeet's really that over.
Yeah, like Jimmy's not winning. I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't stand a chance. I'm sorry, he really doesn't.
Comments are going crazy right now.
Let me see here for sure. Lashley can't be a heel too likable and second year off Mania. No. I still thought they were gonna. I don't know if they still are, but I think it's either going to be a 6-man tag or a mixed tag match between the Street Profits and the Final Testament. But I also wondering, since they're doing Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar on SmackDown next week, is that going to lead to a stipulation match for the WrestleMania, or is the LWO and Legado del Fantasma going to be like a big tag match involved as well?
It wouldn't be a bad match.
I still think they should do the one-on-one though at Mania, and the Final Testament and the Pride, which is what they're supposed to call Bobby Lashley's group. That could be a
wasn't it like the Her Business 2.0 or something?
No, I heard rumors that they're supposed to be called the Pride. But I think they should be heels, honestly, if I'm being honest.
Is AJ a heel or tweener?
AJ's definitely a heel now. Before the beginning of the year, I was convinced tweener, because although he was acting like a heel, he was still doing stuff like high-fiving the fans, so I still thought he was a tweener. When a guy flies, though, 18 hours overseas to Australia just to whoop someone with a chair, you're definitely a heel.
He won't even go to a different state just to enter some. Oh, he did though.
Exactly.
LA Knight was talking, and then he just attacked LA Knight as he was talking like that. Yeah, heel.
Right.
Like,
and Rocky the movies, that's the way they are going because it's in Philly. I got you. And we got Wrestling News 365. So it's been a while since I heard from them. How have you been, Mike? The Bloodline started to bore me, The Rocks. The best thing about the Bloodline right now, but when are we going to get Rock versus Roman?
See,
next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, they're going to have to build up for that match once again. But they got to do it soon. I don't even know if they can make it to next WrestleMania. Rock's old.
Right, but then again, it's like what? There's really nowhere else bigger though to do it though than WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's the issue. They have to do it at WrestleMania.
Like you can't do it in a Saudi Arabia show.
No, that's
SummerSlam would be acceptable, but
it has to be. It's a WrestleMania match.
Exactly, it's still.
It's like a Batista Brock Lesnar level match. Like
exactly,
it has to happen at some point.
Exactly. We're all Monday Night Raw. That's been a better show as of late, more so than SmackDown. I do kind of agree. Like, SmackDown anymore is consistent of, like...
Like, SmackDown's been cooking, too. But, like, the whole WWE's been cooking right now.
Raw just has a lot more of a variety. Like, SmackDown gets, like, a majority bloodline. Because, first off...
SmackDown's just bloodline.
Right. Well, 15 minutes of entrances for both Roman and The Rock. Like, plus, you got 2 part-time champions.
Like, they think they're The Undertaker.
Right. Will John Cena be back in time for WrestleMania 40? I
don't think so.
I feel like they would have started something by now if he was. Because also, too,
maybe
they had Solo beat him, but Solo's done almost nothing since.
I thought if they would have capitalized on it.
Right, like have Solo do more, maybe something there. But
they might capitalize later, but I feel like if they do it too late, like if Triple H pulls a Vince McMahon,
right,
it's not going to matter.
I don't think though he's coming to Mania this year though. Maybe making a fun appearance or so. What about the 6-pack ladder match? That is going to be fun.
Yeah,
that's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I'm still confused by this bracket thing they're doing. Like they're doing 2 brackets, and the winner of those brackets get the spots. Because I'm thinking,
like what they did with the Elimination Chamber.
Well, the thing is though, is there enough tag teams to do a bracket?
There's not enough real tag teams.
Exactly. So that will be a fun match for sure. Nikki Cross, oh man. I feel like Nikki Cross is on her way out because I feel like
I haven't even seen Nikki Cross recently.
Not for a while. Well, they were doing that thing where she was just walking out looking like possessed and whatnot, which I love.
Remember in the Royal Rumble and she was just
stood there still. But the thing also is, I am hearing that Nikki actually is, I think, going after her PhD right now in real life.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like she's heading out the door as far as wrestling goes.
Yeah, they don't have anything to do with her right now.
Right. I mean, they could. Trust me. When she was in NXT as a single star, oh my goodness, she was awesome.
Yeah.
But then main roster, they've taken away the crazy side of her, then gone back and forth, made her almost a superhero, which that was god awful. 2021.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. Winner gets leader of LWO or I Quit. Not a bad deal. I did like myself a good I Quit match, which we are getting on Dynamite this week, actually, between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. In his offense, LA costed AJ his match. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but I know
Drew for the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, that did happen. That he's a friender. Why are we getting Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar on SmackDown? We are, but I think man's asked, why aren't we getting that Mania? Again, it could. I think that's either going to turn into a stipulation match for Mania.
Honestly, I think it's just because WrestleMania is so packed right now. They can't shove any more matches in. Even if it is 2 nights, there's so many matches right now.
Right, I forgot how many there are right now. But does R-Truth, in your minds, take the tag titles in that tag team ladder match at WrestleMania? Honestly, I still think they should. The long-term story still feels like R-Truth. And R-Truth is over like hotcakes right now.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love R-Truth?
Right, like if not him, I would say DIY. Because they're
actually, it's DX.
Oh, sorry, Regeneration X. But I still feel like right now the person who's more over right now is R-Truth. So I think R-Truth should be the one to do it.
It's DX because R-Truth says so.
Oh, gosh. Thoughts on changing War Games rules to fit Survivor Series, where it's 5-on-5 elimination match inside War Games, which I'd be fine with that, because to me, I always found it a little weird that they basically just beat the crap out of each other, and then no one can get a pinfall victory until everybody enters. So, I mean, you could do it elimination style. Like, I don't know if you wait till everybody gets in, or if you do it like, just throughout the match.
Let them, like a second 2 people are in, they should just let the pinfall start happening.
Right, yeah, but that's not a bad idea. I agree. Who do you think leaves AEW for WWE? I do hear House of Black's contracts are coming up, so I do see...
Has MJF re-signed yet?
I don't know, but he did have to take time off, though, because of a shoulder injury. Yeah. But they basically have him set up for a storyline for when he comes back. So I think he's staying for a little bit. But I think the House of Black are good. Well, mainly Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. I think they're going back. They're going back to WWE, because I know Triple H wanted to get Malachi back when he took over, but he couldn't because he was under AEW contract at the time. But I think he's someone which, of course, Triple H will take good care of him if he comes back.
Yeah.
I've heard this too, if Drew McIntyre didn't get his push he got in 2020, apparently Paul Heyman's second pick for that push was Malachi Black. Well, Aleister Black, as he was called in WWE.
Yeah, Aleister Black.
And then Buddy Murphy, again, such an underrated talent for sure. He definitely deserves to be much more appreciated. Who would you want Cena's final match to be against?
Who?
Who would you want John Cena's final match to be against? Honestly, I think that's the thing I do too. Because I've heard, I mean, I don't know, I could see them maybe getting there with Randy. But some people mentioned the idea of having Randy Orton get the 16 world titles as well.
And then maybe 17?
And basically have him and Cena's last match be the siege for which one would get to the 17th title first.
Oh, that would be good. Who do you think? Who would you want to see win that?
Ooh.
I say Randy, because Cena's beaten Randy so many times.
I think so. Also, because Randy was kind of like one of Ric Flair's like students, basically. Yeah. Will be because of like evolution and whatnot. Like from one evolution member to another, that could be a good story for him to as well.
Yeah, what Dakota said. I mean, Randy has like 10 years left. He has to break it eventually.
Right, yeah. He's got a lot. I think, well, as long as his back stays healthy as well. Wait, give me an idea. What if Cena comes out and helps Cody? That is a little random, though, I feel like.
I feel like it's like too Vince McMahon-y.
If it would happen, I wouldn't hate it, but it feels a little bit random right now, in my opinion. Do you think Randy will win the U.S. title at WrestleMania 40? I actually don't think he is.
Really?
I wanted it to be LA Knight to be the one to dethrone Logan Paul. And I've been wanting to see that match actually since last year's Money in the Bank, because the promos they had, I thought they were going to have a match at SummerSlam. But I do think they're going to keep the belt on Logan a little bit longer because of that thing with the Prime logo being in the center of the ring. Remember how they announced that on SmackDown last week?
So is it just going to be there now?
I think just on pay-per-views. It's like a center ring sponsor. So I think because of that, they probably want to keep the belt on Logan a little bit longer. Maybe like later this summer he'll drop it, but I don't think Logan's dropping the title. Austin Theory hasn't done nothing since he beat Cena. Exactly, he hasn't.
They haven't capitalized on anybody who's been beating Cena.
Right, and the thing too was Cena buried Theory on the microphone, and the only promo they had
Solo on the microphone.
Oh yes,
the one promo.
But to me, Solo actually has had a dominating win. Austin really didn't. Like the match they had last year was kind of weak, if I'm being honest. So I do feel like Austin has definitely fallen off. Dakota thinks MJF is going to WWE. Eventually he will, but I don't think not yet he will. He also thinks Randy Orton will break the record. He also thinks Kevin Owens will win the U.S. title, which I'm not opposed to because Kevin Owens has not held a singles title since 2017. That's a sin.
I just don't see it happening right now. Like, maybe obviously later, but I don't see it at WrestleMania. It's either going to be Logan retaining or Triple H is finally going to give Randy another title.
Good, yeah.
Because even...
Also, why is Ric Flair have a contract in AEW? That Sting have retired now. I don't know if he will still stick around in AEW. I was scared they brought in Ric Flair because they were going to have him be Sting's last match, which please, dear God, no.
That would have been a horrible match.
Yes, it would have. Thank goodness the tag match was great for sure. But, yeah, I don't see any reason why Ric Flair should stick around. Because, like, if Andrade was still in AEW, maybe he could manage Andrade since that is his son-in-law. But Andrade is back in WWE now. So, I do agree there. Flair has no reason to be in AEW anymore, in my opinion. Your thoughts on WWE's YouTube channel hitting 100 million subscribers?
And congratulations.
Congratulations.
They deserve it.
Yeah, for sure. I do expect that. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that, but
maybe someday.
Maybe, yeah. But my ultimate goal, I'd say, is 10,000. If I can get to at least 10,000, I think that's like
same here. Like
that's where I think I'll be at my happy point.
And then you don't really care about subs anymore. You just make your.
Well, I'll still care, but like that's like.
No, obviously you'll care about the people, but not like getting.
Right, but I'll be like probably satisfied if I can get there. But hey, you never know. If I think I can do more, I'll be hungry for more. Theory or Waller who turns face? I think Waller. It should be. I think Waller. I agree on that. I do think it was a little too soon to break them up, though, as a tag team.
No, keep them together for a little bit.
They have to stop. Because all they do, though, is fight Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. They got to stop that. Those rates way too repetitive. Is Sheamus okay? I don't know what's going on with Sheamus.
I haven't seen him in so long.
Because I've heard he was injured, but I've also heard rumors he's going to leave and go to AEW. Which, no offense again,
that doesn't make sense.
Sheamus feels like a WWE lifer. And I think Sheamus never gets the respect he deserves because he's definitely a hard worker, very dedicated. He's had a little weird character moments in there, but I still think he's not someone who needs. He doesn't. I don't think he needs to go to AEW. I don't feel like he'd be like a big standout if he would go to AEW. In my opinion.
I feel like every WWE superstar who's went to AEW just hasn't had the career they had in AEW.
I mean, some of them have benefited from it. Not all of them. I think.
But... what's his name? John Moxley did.
Moxley,
Daniel Bryan.
For sure, him as well.
Although I would like to see Dean Ambrose back.
Would be cool, yes, but I think it's going to be a bit till that happens.
Be a couple years.
AJ Styles has not held a world title in 6 years is also a sin. I do agree with that, yes. And I don't get what the booking is with AJ, too, because the problem also is that AJ's done nothing but lose the past couple of years, which is a little ridiculous, I feel like.
I mean, I get why you took the pin in that Fatal 4-Way, because you didn't want to have LA Knight take the pin. He was so
right, yes.
Randy Orton, I mean, he was just returning.
Oh, storyline-wise, it made sense, yeah, but it feels like since 2022, he's lost a lot.
Yeah, and also I wanted to say something, too. Oh, yeah, when Randy returned, I was originally expecting him to be booked out of, like win practically every title, beat everybody, because he was Triple H. But no, Triple H just kept his biasism to the side, I guess.
Exactly. Is Andrade a face? I'm not sure. Well, it feels like it, but I feel like they have to capitalize on what direction they're going with the storyline with him and Dominic. I want to wait until that happens first before I
Has he even interacted with Dominic?
Yeah, a couple times on Raw he has.
Really?
Yeah, because even this past week on Raw, he wanted to speak with Judgment Day, but they said Dominic said good things about it, but Dominic wasn't there because he was on his honeymoon.
With who?
He got married. Dominic got married.
When?
The other week.
Not who?
Some girl he's been with for 12 years.
How old is Dom?
26, 27.
Dang, 12 years?
Yeah, been with her for 12 years. Yeah, he got married.
I love how silent it was.
Right. Let me see here. Aleister Black returns WWE and wins the world title in a squash match. I wouldn't be opposed to that because Aleister Black is a badass. He squashes Cody in AEW in his first match.
Wait.
Hey, that's very true. Well, Malachi Black, Aleister Black, his first feud in AEW was with Cody. Him coming back and
beating him again
and beating Cody, that's not a bad idea. I actually do like that idea. You think Malachi Black?
Yeah.
He's in his late 30s.
Oh, so he still has time left.
Yeah, he has plenty of time, yeah. You think Matt Hardy goes back to WWE? He is frustrated in AEW. Him and Jeff.
Maybe for like the last 2 months of his career.
I don't know, because Jeff at WWE ended on bad terms this past round. And I don't know, I feel like there's nothing left for them to do really.
No, that's all. I think his career is like unassuming.
I think they're both going to finish up in AEW, in my opinion. AJ should have won the 2022 Rumble and not Brock. I would have been cool with that because they had to. I've been wanting to see them do AJ and Roman one-on-one since because they've only had 2 one-on-one matches, and that was in 2016. But Roman was still the babyface, and AJ was still catching his footing in WWE.
Yeah, they need to do like a catch-up one.
Right. They got to do it again. Let me see here. So will Dom and Andrade be face or Finn and Priest? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Dom and Andrade. I think Finn and Priest should stay Judgment Day.
I still think...
I think Finn should go face, too.
Maybe. I think Dom has way too much heat to be able to go heel.
Yeah, maybe Andrade should just stick to his own thing, and I think Finn should turn on Damian.
Edge loses more in AEW than in WWE. He's only lost...
Has he even won a title yet?
Well, he won the TNT title, but then Luchasaurus gave Christian Cage his title shot that he won earlier in the night, and he won the title back from him. They're having another title match, and I quit this match this week.
Who do you think's winning?
I think Edge wins in that one.
Edge has been doing fine in AEW.
I think he's done fine so far. Yeah, he has a lot of things he can do in AEW, I think. And TQ says Malachi Black is 38 years old. Still good age.
So he's about Braun Strowman's age, somewhere around that.
Yeah, he's not. I think Cody's like 36 or 37 as well.
So he's about like the average WWE age right now. All the big like superstars are in their late 30s or late 40s.
Basically, Tyler hates I Quit matches. I love I Quit matches.
I like it too.
Oh yeah, it's like.
My favorite match types are last man standing matches.
Yes.
When they're done right, when the babyface is getting up from getting his head chopped off, that's not very entertaining.
Right.
But like Seth Rollins. But like anyway, I Quit matches.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also thinking Hell in a Cell matches. I've always loved Hell in a Cell matches.
Yes, those as well. Imagine if Jeff and Matt versus Christian Edge at Mania 42, both in team's retirement match. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, I wouldn't either. It's like that would be an epic last match for all of them. But I don't think Edge is really at his end right now.
He hasn't, no, but
Edge has time.
Oh yeah, he does. But yeah, we've been live for about an hour and 15 minutes. 7 o'clock. I'm sure you're getting hungry.
Yeah,
I am too. So we might cut it here. Did you have any last minute things you wanted to address or talk about as well?
Stay tuned on our channels for our SmackDown reviews, and that's about it.
Pretty much, yes, do that there. Hey.
Are you making yours today or tomorrow?
We'll see, yeah, because
I'll probably record it today for both of us. And
maybe, yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah,
we'll see. I don't know if I'll go live for that or if I'll just record that one as well. But we'll see. We still gotta get food, and I still promised my one friend playing in a game of Mario Party as well. But Tiffany Stratton face turn. I still feel like Tiffany's still too cocky to be a heel. Like, well, her microphone skills at least makes me want to boo her. I mean, she's great in the ring, but terrible on a microphone. Also, Bayley or Io at Mania.
Bayley.
I still think they will go with Bayley too, but I'm still about 100% sure if they will either way. I can see that one go either way. I guess also one thing I did mention when we talk about before we go, I didn't mention the history of the channels. I think I've done a short on it before, but the reason of why I called myself the Club of the Man 1993, have I ever told you that story?
You did, but I honestly don't remember much of it, so you can definitely retell it.
Okay, so the name came from because first it split up, and Club came from at the time, my favorite song, and still is one of my favorite songs ever.
And the Club?
No. The Club Can't Handle Me by Flo Rida. For the longest time, no joke, my profile picture on YouTube was the album cover for that song.
Yeah.
That was my favorite song. So, there was that. And then, the man came from, because when I was a sophomore in high school, we had a pep rally for the fall sports. And my teammate for the cross-country team introduced me, called me Mikey the Man Ruggiero. But the way he said the man, I thought he said the man. So when I first started making like social media accounts, my parents wouldn't let me use my actual last name.
Yeah.
So instead of just like taking the first two letters of my last name like my sister did until like a year later, which we both gave up and just put our actual names on there without telling my parents, I'm like, you know what? No, I want to be cooler. So I put my name in as Mike the Man.
Mike the Man.
So it's like for 1 year on Facebook, I was Mike the Man. And I got bullied about it, of course, for it. But when I was coming up with a name, I wanted to kind of like mix both those names together.
Yeah.
So originally I wanted just to be the Club of the Man.
The Club of the...
But then when I went to make the name, it said the name was already taken.
Somehow, I don't know who would have
I never found who it does or whatnot, or if it was just some like lame account or whatnot. So I had to add in like something else to it. And
so you said your birthday?
My birth year, yeah. Well, because originally it's like just like a one, like the Club of the Man 5 or like the Club of the Man 55 or like just like adding like in like one or two. There was just didn't flow. But just putting in like a longer number like my birth year just fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really the story about.
I mean, you can't change it now either. That's like your name.
Right? Yeah. I don't have any reason to change it. I think it's been like a cool name, and of course, again, I've gone from just that album art as my thumbnail to then I made like another one. The first one I made was in like 2017, 2018. It was just like a silhouette of me crossing my arms with DaClubOfDaMan1993 going across it. Then of course when I got other things, it was just the space background with the text, and then of course I added in the whole MJF part to it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it evolved basically. Interesting story. Bailey should be the hugger gimmick again. I don't know if Bailey should be the hugger again, but I do think she needs to change her theme song.
I do like what she's doing right now.
Like, I think you can do like a little bit like a mixture of like her heel persona and her face persona, in my opinion.
But like with the YouTube names, like mine has a lot of history too. So I guess
sure. So if you want to share that story, go for it.
Share it.
If you want to, sure.
So I've had like many channels like over the years. Like I remember my original one was. Don't make fun of me, but I had this one when I was like 9. So literally, I just did like I play toys with my friends on the channel. I don't want to look back at that one.
Oh gosh.
And then like I stopped for like 4 years.
What was that name?
I think it started because I wanted my own unique name, but looking back on it, it was dumb. I just added random cool words. It was like Drift Gaming Killer 5 something.
What the?
I don't know.
Oh man.
And then I changed the name to CatTube because I thought it was cooler. I was also like 10, so yeah.
Remember we did. I got to show you this hilarious video
like,
of a cat that someone showed me on YouTube.
And I wanted to get back into YouTube like 3-4 years later. I didn't want to go under CatTube. And I wanted to keep that channel as like an old nostalgic channel anyway. So I made a YouTube channel called Sir Wolf. You can't find it now, but it was just Sir Wolf. And a lot of my usernames on my games are still Sir Wolf. It was SIRWOLF. That's how you spell Sir Wolf, no spaces. But later on, because that's before I wanted to be like an actual like YouTuber. I just wanted to post stuff.
Right.
But then I realized I want to be an actual YouTuber, so I searched for Sir Wolf on YouTube, make sure that name wasn't taken. It was taken by like 50 people.
Ah.
So I changed my name to Blue Dark Dragon, but that was too long, and like none of the video games supported it. But I remember my dad had this old username that he used it was DRK Wrath. It was one of his old usernames. He doesn't use it anymore. And I was like, I like the DRK in that. So I took that out and I made it Blue DRK Dragon. Again, I thought it was too long. But I've always liked the word midnight. I don't know why. So I said, why don't we just, like I did what you did, was just cram them together.
Right, just like kind of
midnight.
mix it in together basically. Just like mixture of like different aspects of us. But yeah, who would know a fall pep rally, me misunderstanding what they said. Like I said, I know he said the man.
Just a simple interpretation of what he said made your whole YouTube video.
But the way he said it sounded like he said the man.
DaClubOfDaMan.
Yes, indeed. But I think we are going to cut it here. Before we go, though, again, I do think I need to thank, several people. Of course, thank you as well, Dark Midnight, again, my own nephew in real life, getting started on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. I did leave the link for his channel in the description box down below for sure.
Definitely help out a lot. Even if you guys aren't into gaming content, I plan on doing the wrestling content like DaMan is doing.
Exactly, so, yes.
Wrestling, I think I accidentally said gaming content.
You're good. But definitely thank you again to Dakota, TN Couponer, Tyler, we had Fidget 1764.
And if there's anybody we somehow forgot.
Wrestling News 365 in there as well. Again, other people who supported the channel over the years,
I think all 2,000 of you, and I guess me 4 times.
Yes. Robbie One Kenobi, of course, Daniel Guyza, Gene from the Botch Squad podcast. People who have been like inspirations to me, like, Just Alex for sure. Probably my favorite YouTube wrestler. We had, of course, Nerd Coalition I've done 1 or 2 collaborations with as well. Like video game wise, definitely. He's changed his name several times. But there was well, not you.
No, I know. I said like me.
Yeah, but when I first started doing like YouTube, like the gaming, there was a guy, I think his YouTube name was called Mountain Dew 14. I can't remember what it was, but But I know he was like the Elite Trainer, then Common Sense Gamer. He's changed his name a few times. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he was a big supporter of my video game Let's Play. So him, for sure, thank you very much.
See this. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Two people who were also kind of inspirations for me for video games was definitely Big Mac Davis. Does a lot of great content. He disappeared for like 4 years, but he's been back doing different games as well. Lightning Bolt Forever, of course, as well, is another one of my favorite gamers. Ling Yang 203. Definitely a few more, but I can't on top of my head. But again, a lot of people who have definitely been very supportive of me over the years. Mark Johnson as well has been a good supporter as well. And yeah, anybody else I may have forgotten. So, guys, again, thank you. It's been a fun hour and a half stream. Getting DRK Midnight on here as well, me too as well. Definitely try to get you on again sometime soon.
Yeah. And even maybe in the SmackDown review?
Maybe, yes. We possibly could as well.
I might do my match card, because you already did one. I'll do my WrestleMania match card prediction as a solo video, but then...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that, and yeah. Like I said, I think I'm not going to heavily advertise it yet, but yeah, I think the next goal for the channel is 2,500.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta enjoy 2,000 a little bit before you have to advertise anything. Be thankful.
There's still a lot of stuff I gotta get caught up on. I still want to get more of my baseball news videos. I'm still working on the channel graphics, which again, what we have here is kind of an idea of what I'm going for.
Yeah, I like it.
This background will be seen, except for maybe different colors depending on which show we're talking about. But other things are going to be elements going to be added to it. And yeah, definitely get more Roller Coaster Tycoon in there as well too. More Wolfenstein. Again, hopefully more sitcom reviews. Other documentary reviews as well. I want to get in there, but again, just enjoy myself and still continue to be me and have fun as long as I can do this possible. So guys, again, thank you for everybody again who has been on this journey to 2,000 subscribers. And again, next goal is 2,500. So guys, make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And again, thank you everybody. Fans, inspirations. My 2,000 subscriber right here.
And if you're new to the Club of the Man, just scroll down a little bit and maybe subscribe. You want to see more stuff like this.
Exactly, yes. We are at 2,001 subscribers last I saw. But yes, guys, as always, slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content to come on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DaClubOfDaMan1993. And you may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at DaClubOfDaMan1993. But until then, guys, I'm checking out. He's DRK Midnight. I am the Club of the Man 93. But do not forget, though, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life.
Yeah.
Yeah!